Have you ever seen somebody post about their amazing boyfriend only to later call him a nightmare? Well, that's exactly what happened with the Haylee Baylee situation. And let me tell you, it is really messy. At first, she made videos calling him one of the nicest people that she has ever met. But just a few months later, she's calling him her ex from hell. And here is the kicker. Here is the ultimate kicker. Somebody tried to warn her just a few months ago, telling her that this man that she's dating is a liar, a cheat, and also a narcissist. But here's the thing, Haylee still stayed. And let me just say, on her TikTok or her social media platforms, she is now crashing out. And I would say to an extent it's a reasonable crash out. And she's opening up and telling people on the internet what this man did to her. So in today's video, I'm gonna be breaking it all down for you. How Haylee started posting about this guy, how the girl tried to warn her, and how now she's posting videos, crashing out, and telling the whole internet how this man wronged her. With that being said, let's dive right into it. Hello everyone, hi, my name is Kelly and welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you know you're interested in drama and social commentary, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me. First off, who is Haylee Baylee? Haylee Baylee, also known as Halle Khalil, was born on August 6, 1992. She's an American model and social media star who is best known as the winner of Miss Minnesota beauty pageant in 2014. She has gained over 16 million followers on her Haylee Baylee TikTok page and she posts comedic and beauty content. One of the reasons Haylee Baylee blew up was because there's this guy who finds strangers on the street and asks them if he can tour their house in New York City. And coincidentally, he ran into Haylee Baylee and asked her for an apartment tour.
How much do you pay for rent in New York?
Well, you're the apartment guy. Okay, come on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, mommy's road though.
Whoa, holy shit, this place is insane.
It's like one long bowling alley. Love for DC Marble. No other.
It honestly reminds me of a superhero's lair. This is the guest
This
bathroom.
is the guest bathroom. I have a second bathroom. That is a guest bathroom. This is my favorite part. This entire thing because I need a big kitchen. I also love cooking.
Guest bedroom? Your whole apartment screams iconic New York City.
And let's just say this apartment is so expensive that Haylee pays over $10,000 a month. And rightfully so, a lot of people were so shocked that that apartment was so expensive to that extent, but at the same time was beautiful. And from there, she started blowing up on social media. She also blew up because she was making this William-esque comedic videos talking about how her imaginary billionaire boyfriend named William would do such outrageous things to her and how she would just comply with it because he's a billionaire and so on and so forth. And yes, that's how she amassed over 16 million followers on TikTok, and she's really liked in the community. People love Haylee, and also because she's generally a funny person. Like, people on the internet like to see a conventionally attractive woman be also funny and also have a sense of humor. I believe it is a breath of fresh air for some people, and that is exactly why she blew up. Now in this video, I'm not going to get into her ex-husband, what happened between them, or the thing that she said about him. I don't really think it's that relevant, so let's continue. Around 2024, Haylee started posting with a new man, her boyfriend. But initially she didn't show his face, but slowly but surely she started posting videos with his face included in it. And let's just say people were living for it. People were living for this couple because they were seen as cute and relatable and matching each other's energy. And the internet loves when a couple is just, let's just say, performative. If you watch these videos on your own while scrolling through and you're able to put your two brain cells together, you will know that most of the videos are performative. But as long as they portray a very cute, loving couple who absolutely adore each other, the internet, or let's just say netizens, will eat it up and leave no crumbs. And as this video started to go viral, a lot of people started talking, and one person who also added her voice to the conversation was an influencer named Jamie Stone. Now, according to this influencer, she reached out to Haylee Baylee and told her about the guy that she is dating or in a relationship with, telling him that essentially he's a liar, he's a cheat, and he allegedly gave her a transmittable disease. Now, she didn't state what this disease is, but she definitely said that it is common in 1 in 5 people. So I don't know, you can just assume what that disease is. She posted a video with the caption saying, "When you warn an influencer about the guy in her recent TikToks, talk to her for hours about how he traumatized you. She agreed that he was a bad guy, and then she stops responding. She doubles down on posting him because it gets her views, and now she's under fire for her new series where she lies about her fake relationship with her billionaire boyfriend, making a mockery of women who have come forward about their real abusive relationships." And let's just say, this made people so interested. It turned into a whole thing. A lot of people were asking her, who is she referring to? who is the guy? Is it Haylee Baylee? And that was the top guess because it just aligned perfectly with her. And at that same time, she was also going through some drama of how she mocked real abusive relationships. Now, I don't really know anything about that drama. I didn't bother looking into it because I don't think it's relevant for this topic or this conversation. And because a lot of people were asking her who she was referring to, she decided to make a video basically explaining all the bad things that this man did to her.
Who the Fuck Did I Date series, a real one, not a fake one, with a little twist. Okay, so clearly we all saw my last video, and a lot of you are wanting me to elaborate on my experience. I reached out to her about this very bad man that she's continued to give a platform to, like single-handedly giving a platform to. He didn't have a platform before she came in the picture. She has been putting him in her videos, helping him make his own TikToks, helping him get millions of views on his videos, and this man is a danger to society. Let me rephrase that. He's a danger to women. So it's a typical cliche: liar, cheater, manipulator, emotionally abusive. Very toxic relationship. I was an amazing girlfriend to him. I did nothing to deserve the treatment that I got. Not that anyone does something to deserve that.
And as far as I know, that is where the drama ended. I don't really think much came out of it, except from people making videos about the situations and explaining it in general for other people. But except from that, I don't think Haylee was dragged to the gutters or something because of this whole situation. Then, late 2025, around August, September, Haylee and her boyfriend broke up. So now, this makes him an ex. And a lot of people were asking what happened. You guys were so cute together, and so on and so forth. Just a few people were able to pick up the past drama that happened between the both of them, or rather between Haylee and Jamie. That name sounds exactly alike. Fast forward to August, or I believe September of 2025, Haylee made a video basically announcing that her and her boyfriend, they're no longer together, they went their separate ways, which makes him her ex. By the way, I'm going to stop referring to him as her ex. I'm going to use his name. His name is Kai Vieira. After she announced this, was also making videos calling her ex one of the nicest people that he has ever met, and how he was so nice and sweet to her, which we later find out that that is a complete and utter lie. But she made the video by herself with her own hands as an adult, so let's not even start making excuses for that. At this point, people started moving on with their life because it didn't seem like something that was that big of a deal. I mean, two grown adults went their separate ways. Breakups are normal, so it is nothing to really cry over or make a fuss about. And again, Haylee said that they went their separate ways on good terms, so that's why people just didn't really care after a few weeks, until Haylee started making videos about her ex again, about how he's a terrible person. But at first she was just hinting at it, just the little hints here and there, telling people that this is what he did and he was genuinely a terrible person. And people were rightfully confused because just a few weeks ago, Haylee was talking about how this guy is one of the best people she has ever met and how he treated her nice, but now she is calling him a narcissist and a cheater. An example of the videos that she made was this one.
So welcome to a day in the life with your boyfriend from hell. This story begins a day before because you have been traveling a ton for work. You have been so busy and you are absolutely exhausted. And you and your boyfriend have plans to go to this amazing place together. You've called a bunch of people. You have paid money. He said he would go, and then he ends up ditching you. You're like, what in the world? We literally had plans. You said yes 6,000 times before I paid money, before I waited on call for 2 hours. What's going on? He blames it on work. So you're like, okay, I'm really upset, but he promises though that he will make it up to you. So you spend the entire day with your friends instead because your boyfriend never showed up, but you're still excited to see him when you get home. The second you land, you call your boyfriend and you say, hey, I really want to see you. Where are you? And he says he has work, which is a little weird because he's never once really worked in front of you. So you have no idea what he could actually even be working on, but that's besides the point. Around like 10:30 at night, he's finally done with work and he comes over. You order him food because he never pays for food himself, and you eat the food and then you go to bed. Every time you invite him over, he keeps saying, I'm busy with work, I'll come later. So you're like, okay. But then while you are scrolling on Instagram, you see that he has been following all of these women. And you're like, that's really weird. Why is he doing that? So of course you ask him and he responds by saying you are crazy, you are looking into things too much, and that nothing is going on. He's not talking to anyone else and he would never do that. So you're like, okay, that's sketchy, but I'm going to believe you. 8 o'clock rolls around and he finally comes over and you just have this like weird gut feeling. So you ask to see his phone and he's very reluctant to give it to you, which is weird because he literally 2 hours before just told you that you were crazy for thinking he would even consider talking to anyone else. He eventually hands over his phone. So you go to messages, but you're smart. So you know to go to deleted messages, and you feel like somebody stabbed you in the stomach. There are hundreds and hundreds of deleted messages from so many girls. So unfortunately, you don't get to see any other messages, but you know that this man has been lying through his teeth to you basically the entire relationship. He then proceeds to get on his hands and knees and beg you to believe him, to believe that he never saw her, to believe that he never touched her, to believe that he had no interest in her whatsoever. But of course, you've seen the text, so you know that all of that is not true. While you were crying yourself to sleep at night because you don't understand how the person you loved most in the world could backstab you like that and lie directly to your face so many flippin' times, you receive a text from him asking you to sign an NDA so you can't talk about any of this on the internet. He deserves the chance to change, even though he's done this to every single girl he's ever been with.
Although this is just a trend, she was actually relating it to her own personal experiences, basically summarizing all the things that her ex actually did to her. And at this point, people were like, wait. I understand that you've been dragging this on and, hinting at what this guy did to you. So please, can you just tell us what he actually did? Because at this point, I'm confused if you're referring to Kyle or another ex-boyfriend. And since people were really curious about the whole situation, she decided to make a video about the things that her ex-boyfriend did to her, and she still stayed.
Let's do an edition of the things my ex-boyfriend did and I still stayed. During the first 6 months that we were dating, he secretly talked to a woman, FaceTimes, text messages, hangouts, and I knew nothing about it until I saw it all in his phone, in the deleted. When I saw that a particular girl's text messages were under hide alert, he continued to tell me that he must have fallen on his phone, and that's why the alerts were hidden. This man was literally on his hands and knees, begging me, looking me in the eyes, crying, telling me that that's what happened. He would follow so many girls on Instagram and like so many girls' photos that I had to download a tracker for the things that he liked just to check if he was lying to me about them. And he was always lying to me about them. That should have been my sign. I should have just, Whenever we would film a video together, he would make sure to make my life a living hell unless I tagged him. And even when I did tag him, he asked me to pay him to be in my videos. Which, like, you're my boyfriend. You should want to be in my videos. I paid for everything. For his birthday, I paid off all of his credit cards, and then he still asked me for more money. We were at a work event together, and he flirted with another girl in front of me at the bar for 10 minutes. Didn't turn around once to look at me. Not even once. And then when I called him out about it, he screamed at me in front of everyone at the bar and told me that I was crazy. When I had surgery and couldn't even stand up on my own, he told me that it was too late to come over to help me. It was 9:30, and he was at his friend's house drinking. I sent him a voice note of me bawling and begging him to come over, and he ignored me the entire night. He had a thing for ignoring me whenever I was in any state that wasn't happy.
Let me just put this out there. Sometimes I feel like cheaters think their partners are, let's just say, 5-year-olds. And this is not an insult to 5-year-olds, but they genuinely feel like their partners are dumb. Because how would you want to explain a obviously sexual text with a girl that you felt on your phone? Are we even being for real right now? I firmly believe that cheating is objectively bad. No matter how you put it, I don't care. It is bad. If you feel like you want to cheat on somebody, why not you just leave them and then go live your life? Because once you leave them, whatever decision you make doesn't really affect them anymore if you think about it. And I also noticed that someone cannot just be a cheater. It comes in a full package. You have to be a cheater, a liar, a manipulator, and also a narcissist. Together makes a perfect cheater. I am just saying. Over the next few days, she continued posting about the situation that happened between her and her ex and how she's not doing okay. And it was very obvious that she was hurt and she was trying to heal and move on from the entire situation. I hardly use Reddit in my videos, but I just wanted to go on there to check what people have to say. And let's just say they had a lot to say. People were shading her and, throwing unnecessarily snarky comments at her, but that's how Reddit is, as you already know. And you might be asking, what happened to the guy? Did he face any repercussion for what he did? Absolutely not. For the internet, what they like to do is that they just try their best to cancel the person or go to their comment section to, type something hurtful or basically just call him out. But for this situation, he just turned off his comment section. During when Haylee was making videos about him, he just went there to turn off the comment section. That means nobody can leave a comment. Maybe he doesn't really even care that he cheated. He just wants people to stop talking about the whole situation, and maybe doesn't want anybody that visits his page later on to see those comments and know exactly who he is. So obviously, he knew that what he was doing was wrong because he didn't want other people to come on his page and see that, because he doesn't want to be addressed in that way. So if you knew that what you were doing was wrong, what was the need of even doing it and then hiding it in the first place when that's who you are? It doesn't even make any sense, but I guess cheaters cannot comprehend that, so let me not give them too much credit. At the end of the day, Jamie was right, and when people started to realize this, the tables kind of turned and people started calling out Haylee, telling her that she was warned but then refused to listen. And I feel like I see this more times than usual in the case that women, at least from what I've seen so far, some women just feel like they can change a man, which I want to tell you right now that it is not possible unless that person objectively wants to change by themselves and not because you tell them to. Why do we always feel like we're going to be the different one when you already know this person is like straight up a narcissist and a cheater, and then you still decided to be with her? I feel like that's why people don't really feel too bad for her, because like she was told that this is what happened and it will probably happen to you, so I'm like warning you as a girl's girl, and she completely disregarded it and continued posting with him. And I think at first people were thinking the reason she couldn't leave him or just stopped posting with him was because they were an internet couple and people absolutely adored them. But come to find out that they had been dating for a year and a half. That's a year and 6 months. Even after she was told about what happened, and she still kept on dating him. Now, what is my own opinion? I know this might sound very weird, but I feel bad for her. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for her. Yes, it's a terrible thing to get cheated on. And for you to actually heal and move past it, you have to keep on talking about it over and over and over again until you really have nothing to say and you just forget about the whole situation, because there's really nothing to talk about again because you've let it all out. And I think that's what Haley was doing and posting about it. And I know that to some people it is really insufferable. When I saw the amount of times that she posted about it, I was like, Haley, you really need a friend to be there for you. A friend that you can tell all this to, not the internet, because you know the internet, they will always judge, because when they see it on their feeds, because you know it's a public domain, they feel the need to add their own opinion, and if their opinion is different from your ideology, they would have to say it, and it will make you mad. And the reason I don't really feel bad for her was because she was told. Like, assuming she was not told completely, I'll be on her side. Like, nobody deserves to get cheated on. I'm not trying to say that she deserves to get cheated on just because she was told. However, you were told. Like, seriously, what else did you expect from somebody that did something so terrible to his ex? Do you think you're exempt from that type of treatment just because she's his ex and you are his current girlfriend? That's all I have to say about this whole situation. That's my personal opinion. Feel free to have yours. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And you know, happy new month to everybody. Hello, it is the month of love. Make sure to spend this month with somebody that you truly love. If you don't have a partner, you can do a galentine with your girls. If you don't have girlfriends, you can do it like a parent ties, a family ties. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really have to be your partner. It can be anybody that you love. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. That's all for this video, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.